So let's talk about auction psychology and also extended bidding, because these are two related concepts. Now, in case you are unaware, eBay is utilizing extended bidding for some of their popular collecting categories, mainly trading cards, so sports cards and or collectible card games at present time. Now, I want to make this very clear. This is only in the experimental stages. So if you log on to eBay, if you're bidding on a sports card or what have you, you may or may not come across extended bidding at present time. The way that eBay wants to implement this, though, if it does become a thing, is if a bid is placed in the final 2 minutes of an auction, the auction then is extended for another 2 minutes. And if a bid is placed in that particular point in time, guess what? It gets extended another 2 minutes until finally nobody decides to put a bid in. Then the item finally closes. So this is a controversial talking point in the overall trade. Now, to be fair, and I want to be fair to both eBay and other auction companies out there, extended bidding is not a new concept. If you bid on Hakes Auctions has been using extended bidding for years now. It's been the norm. I mean, I bid in Hakes Auctions, and I have to tolerate extended bidding, which does honestly, in my opinion, as a consultant in the trade, benefit, of course, the auction house and also the consignor or seller of the item in question. It does not benefit the end buyer or the bidder. And this is where we kind of have to talk about auction psychology, because there's a well-known fact in the antiques and collectibles trade. Obviously, people that are usually going after these items have a strong emotional attachment to them. Well, if you start to advertise these items, if you make sure that they're well known, that they're going up for bid, and the auction is like 20 or 30 days, what that does is it builds interest in the type of person that wants to go after these items. It also creates a time involvement from the perspective of the would-be bidder. So let me use this as an example. Let's say that you want to bid on a Star Wars toy at Hakes. Hakes advertises it. You follow them on social media. They advertise that the auction's starting in 5 days, then 3 days. Then the auction opens, and you realize that, okay, now it's going to be about 3 weeks until that auction ends. So that whole time, if you're watching items that you're thinking of bidding on, you are building an emotional connection with those items. You're probably thinking, hey, this is going to look awesome in my collection. Hey, I have a spot in my shelf over here for this. So now as the auction gets closer to the end, if you put a bid in, you actually already envision yourself owning this particular piece. This is auction psychology 101. So now what companies are doing, well, how can we get it where there's more time involvement or there's more hoops that the potential bidder has to jump through? So now it creates that emotional attachment, and it actually increases it to the point where the person says, well, wait a minute, I've waited X number of weeks to have a chance to bid on this item. I know it's only worth $2,000. I put in a bid for $2,200. Now the bid's at $2,500. Do I really want to let it go even though I know I'm overpaying for this item? Do you see how this works? And this is really a viable strategy that a lot of auction companies use to suck in a lot of the Timmies, Kimmies, and Poindexters. This is why I always preach on this channel. If you go back and you watch some of my videos on auction strategy, I tell you guys, if you're going to bid in an auction, you wait until the last minute, you put your max bid in, and then you walk away. You don't worry if you don't win it or not. I am an expert. I'm a consultant in the trade. There's a lot of items I bid on that I don't win. There's even more items that I watch, and I watch the bid price go to the stratosphere, and I'm like, I ain't even putting a bid on this item. It's completely ridiculous for what that item's going for. So you guys have to get to a point where you understand that even if you have an emotional attachment to these items, even if you did spend a lot of time looking at the items that are coming up for bid, watching certain ones, doing market research, if the bidding gets past a certain amount, You just got to walk away. Extended bidding makes this difficult for the bidder and the buyer. And that's why a lot of auction companies are embracing it, because it's a way to increase profits very quickly, especially in a market that is governed more by emotion than that of logic. That's why I teach collectible finance. So you guys are better equipped, where if you come into contact with some of these tactics that are being used, you understand that you have to have a strategy around them to be successful. Now, again, I want to make this very clear. I am not cutting up Hakes. I am not cutting up any other auction company here that utilizes extended bidding. Extended bidding, I hate to say this, is pretty much the way of the future, because over the last 5 to 10 years, there has been a massive influx of money coming into the antiques and collectibles trade, because there's a lot of people out there that view these markets as a viable alternate asset class. And with that money, auction companies, they still have to increase revenue year after year. Even if they're not a publicly traded company, the owners, the people sitting on the board, they want profits to increase year after year. And there are some very successful auction companies out there that have been able to do that. For instance, just look at Heritage. Heritage has been on a tear the last couple of years. They've increased revenue substantially. Now, they've also gotten in to other collecting categories, which then help them exponentially. But still, they are coming up with ways to increase revenue. So this is going to be the norm going forward, whether you like it or not. Again, I'm here to tell you, I'm just going to be honest with you. Extended bidding always benefits the auction company and or the seller or consignor at the bidder's or buyer's expense. You must understand that to be smart in these markets. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you are subscribed to this channel, I will see you in another upcoming video.